أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وآله الطيبين الطاهرين. Viewers, Assalamu alaikum. This program is Peace at a Glance. The name was chosen to signify the importance of peace. How to promote it, how to preserve it, because the importance of peace is understood by knowing the lack of it. What's the lack of peace? When we lack peace, it means we have opened the door for violence and conflicts. That's when we say we don't have the peace. So when there is violence and conflicts, then that is a state which is very, very costly. That's why wars are remembered by people so that they don't repeat them, such situation of war. We should remember these conflicts to avoid repeating them, to avoid the losses we incurred. Any nation that forgets those days, those painful days, then they will repeat the same mistakes. And in Islam, the Prophet had said that whoever repeats a mistake, then is not a Muslim and is not a believer. He's not a believer, to be precise. He said, لا يلدغ المؤمن في جحر مرتين, that a believer cannot be stung or bitten in the same place or hole twice. A believer is not allowed to do a mistake that was costly to such an extent, as you remember, that war or the other war. You cannot do it twice and you remain a believer. So how do we avoid repeating such costly mistakes? By always teaching our young generations about how severe they were, how costly they were, so they don't repeat actions that caused bitterness to us. Peace is such a very, very positive commodity because of understanding and fearing to have a state of violence. That's how good peace is, because violence is very costly. The name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is peace. Salam is one of the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And our final destination, what are we looking for? Man is on a continuous move to perfection. Perfection means absolute happiness. We are working in this world, we are living positively so that we are happy in the next life. We are happy in the next life. We attain that maximum happiness. That is what they call perfection. And Al-Jannah, paradise, is the abode of peace. Dar Salam, the abode of peace. And even when the believers are congratulated into Jannah, they call them idkhuluha. Idkhuluha bisalamin aminin. Welcome, enter it with peace, safely, with peace. So that is the abode of peace. And when we Muslims socially, when we receive each other, the greeting word is Assalamu alaikum, which means I have no problem to you. And you answer him with wa alaikum salam and feel at ease, feel at home. Salam alaikum, wa alaikum salam, feel at home. You have no problem to me and I have no problem to you. That's what it means. We are told to give people peace. without asking them their identity, whether they are believers like us or non-believers like we are. We shouldn't be a threat to anybody, whether we know him or not. And the Quran says that Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, or you who believe, إِذَا ضَرَبْتُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ, when you walk in different areas of this earth, where you are known or unknown, فَلَا تَقُولُوا لِمَنْ أَلْقَى إِلَيْكُمُ السَّلَامَ لَسْتَ مُؤْمِنًا. Never say to anybody who gives you peace that you are a non-believer. Don't say to anybody that you are a non-believer when that person is peaceful. That's what the Quran says. لا تقل لمن ألقى إليكم السلام لست مؤمنا. Don't say to anybody who is peaceful to you and says you are peaceful that for you are a non-believer. Don't say it. So we should preserve peace in every situation, because even in nature is peaceful. Nature and the universe is peaceful. We say that there is harmony in the universe, because nature does not allow contradiction. When that happens, then it becomes distorted, it enters into friction, and it will collapse. When it collapses, then there is no existence. Even in nature is harmonious. When I say nature is harmonious, I mean nature has peace in its different components. With that, I call everybody socially and in all our lives to work together, to be harmonious to each other and promote peace, because the opposite of it is war and violence, which is very, very costly. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.